Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is your weekly rendition, shut up, phone, rendition of the Originators Monday Falcons Talk. I'm your host, K Styles, aka the Sixth Man. To my stage left, you already know him as the Senator. He is what remains Mad Mike Sports.
Hello.
All right, all right. So we got a very interesting conversation going on this evening. So before we get to that, man, let's go ahead and get into what we normally call the staple of these shows. It's the what, Mike?
Real welcome.
All right. Roll call, roll call,
Right,
roll call.
right.
All right, man. So today's roll call, we kicking it off. We got Deshaun Caswell. We got my boy Jam, Mr. 58 in the building. Andrew G, John St. Clair. We got Joseph Thornton in here. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Sonia
Oh yeah.
D.
I'm gonna
Coleman.
sing a song. I'm gonna sing a song that song you one of these days.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna at
You
least
might well
try.
shoot.
At least try.
Look. Give it that five heartbeat style.
Oh yeah.
Lord have mercy. Oh man, we got Georgia, Texas boy. We got what's happening. We got MVM 1978. Got my boy Larry in here. And we got DJ Freaknik. So, Mike, man, what's going on with you this afternoon? Let me make sure. Can you hear me pretty good?
I can. I can.
Okay. So how you doing this afternoon, man?
I feel like telling somebody, come on and go with me. Come on over to my place. I just got from listening to that, by the way.
Yeah, I could damn tell. Oh, over here listening to some oldie. I know one thing. And I kind of had this discussion with somebody off camera. I'm starting to listen to a lot more country music than I used to.
Really?
Yeah. hmm
Look, I actually listen to a lot of country music to be
Yeah. I mean, we all kind of do in a way, but
it's
like you
just
said,
it's quality music in my opinion, especially for today.
hmm hmm and I think, and I think a lot of people are starting to move towards that. It's towards that genre itself, because like you said, the quality of what we normally would perceive as hip hop and R&B has all kind of merged into one and became absolute garbage.
Rap and hip hop is
Right.
absolute trash.
Yeah, cause I think, like you said, the thing is they merged pretty much damn near every genre into one, and you can't really tell what. Um, you can't. I ain't gonna say you can't tell what's what, but it's like, what am I listening to? But hey, man, I just wanted to ramble on a little bit. Um, Let me see. Jordan Test Boy said I rock with some Jason Aldean. I've always listened to Bob Seger. Bob Seger.
Mhm.
For those that don't know Bob Seger, you know the one main song everybody knows, like a rock.
Mhm.
Whoa, like a rock.
Whoa.
All right, let's get into this conversation, man. So, as y'all seen, the topic of today's show is it is a topic that was brought to us by the one. Mad Mike Sports. We are going to be talking about the Kirk Cousins debacle and how the desperation to replace Matt Ryan in Atlanta put them in the financial situation that they have now at that position. So Mike, since this is your topic, man, I'll let you go ahead and run point on this one, man. What's your take on it?
So this is actually, well, let me say this. A while back, K Styles introduced me into this young fella um, that played for the University of Cincinnati. He said, you know what, this guy will actually be perfect for, Arthur Smith's offense. K Styles, can you tell people who that guy is?
Yeah. The one Desmond Ritter at that time.
Desmond Ritter would be perfect for the Atlanta Falcons offense, and quite frankly, he was absolutely 115,000% correct about that. He was perfect for Arthur Smith's offense. But the thing is, you as an Atlanta Falcons fan didn't give a flying fuck. I don't give a shit. I didn't give a flying fuck. And you can kind of get an idea of where I'm about to go with this conversation. Y'all didn't care that guys were perfect for this offense. Y'all didn't care that the guy was perfect for this team. Y'all didn't give a damn that when you look at the Atlanta Falcons and the homework and the things that they've done, that he was absolutely perfect for this Atlanta Falcons. Y'all gave that man hills the first day he was drafted. Nobody cared. Nobody gave a shit. But why am I talking about this? Because this was created because of the hatred that you had for Matt Ryan. A lot of people had so much hatred for Matt Ryan, they was willing and desperate to move on from anything and everything to try to feel that desperation. Y'all were desperate. Y'all were desperate to recreate that Michael Vick era that you hated every aspect about Matt Ryan, even the success. It was so bad to the point where this guy was 12. He would win 11, 12, 13 games in the season, and people still wouldn't show up in the stands. They still wouldn't show up to the playoffs until they actually got won more than one game. You still wouldn't show up. It had got that bad with Matt Ryan. So why am I saying all this? When Matt Ryan left, because y'all pretty much caused it. Okay, you was a fan. A lot of y'all are the fans, and you probably tipping and typing. Can't wait to type. Mike, I think you wrong, man. Don't. I love man right. No, the fuck you didn't. Y'all didn't love that man until his ass was out of here. And this is where we're going with this conversation right now, K Styles.
So basically, what you said is it took Desmond Ritter for people to start liking Matt Ryan.
Absolutely. That's it. This is it. The desperation to replace Matt Ryan has begun. And with that desperation, the question, K Styles, is did the organization run Desmond Ritter out of here on account that he was not appreciated or he was not a fan favorite?
I mean, you could look at it from a certain aspect of it because, like you said, the thing that I always say, and this is kind of like one of my favorite things I like to say, is public relations nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to remember at that point in time, um, you already had to deal with Marcus Mariota quitting on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so if we go down that timeline, the timeline was not to expect him to be a Pro Bowl. You just wanted him to be kind of like a bridge guy anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality of it is all this shit is because of was really just because of Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
The Lamar Jackson saga kind of pushed him out of here because it kind of fed into that fantasy of, oh man, there's a possibility we get Mike Vick back in here.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna get back to you. So in reality, they double dipped on quarterbacks
mm,
because they didn't have a route they could go. Because like you said, you had to get rid of said public relations nightmare. So go ahead, Mike.
so this question right here, this comment right here is one of the reasons why I say this. This is a perfect example of stupidity. Want me to tell you why? Because I'm looking at a few numbers right now. Okay, what? Can you read that? Can you read that comment for me, Kev?
Said Ritter was worse than Bryce Young.
Okay.
Hmm.
So let me read a few numbers. Okay,
That's go
I'm
ahead.
about to read a few numbers for y'all. 2022. Okay? 2020, Desmond Ritter threw for 708 yards, two touchdowns, zero interceptions. Zero. 2023, Desmond Ritter threw for 2,836, 12 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Okay? Bryce Young. Okay? Let me tell you, this is Bryce Young, the guy you said that Desmond Ritter played worse than. Okay? 2,877, 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. And then last year, 2,415 and 9. So, K Styles, when you look at this situation, why would people say Desmond Ritter was worse than Bryce Young? Because I have an opinion as to why, but why would you say if you look at their numbers, they damn near identical?
It kind of all comes down to the public perception, and you have to think about this city is about validation, and unfortunately, he didn't fit the mold of the validation that they wanted. So you gotta think. You kind of like you said, you give people chances who you like.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it just came down to that Lamar Jackson situation was the death of Desmond Ritter. So, cause you had to think about what happened after that. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
now you had super now people put they say he had to win the MVP and he had to win the Super Bowl that year he started. And what
Mm-hmm.
ends and what ends up happening is he lost confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And what do I always say, Mike? Once you lose your confidence, it's a
Yeah.
wrap for you.
That's
It's a
definitely a
wrap
wrap.
for you.
Mm-hmm.
But the organization, like I said, the organization gave Bryce Young another chance to, slightly get better.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So the reason why I'm bringing this to light is because there's the see a lot of people. Let me before I say this, I wanna ask people in the chat when you see a guy that's in the first round, if this guy playing like absolute horse crap, how many chances do you believe that he should have? Okay, let me say it again. If you
Mm.
draft a guy, don't matter what position, how many chances do you think this guy should have?
Well, according to these folk, is unlimited. Well, it's unlimited depending on if they like you. You got you like you said, you kind of
Yeah.
have to you have to throw that in there. You got to
Mm-hmm.
be liked in order to get chances.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a reach to say so. Like you said, it's the truth.
Come on, y'all. Look, y'all can answer. This is just a question.
Now, this is
Just
just a
a question.
conversation. This is just a conversation, y'all. Because well, this is actually going to add into what the main topic is. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like I said, we can't be scared to answer a question like that.
Uh-uh. Mm.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, because like you said, it varies by organization. Arizona drafted Josh Rosen one year, and then drafted Kyler the next year in the very same first round.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like you said, the thing about it is, yeah, we could talk about how bad that 2022 draft class was for quarterbacks. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, right now, they're trying to push Justin Fields to be the saving grace of that draft class. 'Cause that draft class in 2021, the one that was supposed to have been the quote unquote greatest quarterback class since 1983, is
Mm-hmm.
is looking just like 2022,
Yes.
but way more
It
expensive.
mm-hmm. Way, whoo, boy, way more expensive.
Right.
So we got a few, but this
What
is
you got?
exactly what this is the conversation. This is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Is because at this particular moment, when you look at Arizona by example, like it wasn't the fact that the kid couldn't play; they didn't like him. Period. That's it. You
Mm-mm.
know how many guys that have been number one? Look, it took Aaron Rodgers about 3 years to figure out what he was. Brett
Right.
Favre, it took him about 2, 3 years to figure out who he was. John Elway, I can keep going down, like I can keep going over and over. This has everything to do with public perception.
Hmm.
Public perception, it can kill and ruin not only a player's confidence, but it could kill the organization and how they view
Right.
that particular person.
Because you have to remember in that draft class, the Falcon fans wanted Malik Willis.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
people were thinking that Malik Willis was going to be a first round pick. And and like you said, everybody just had their sights on Malik Willis, and they felt slighted and disrespected that they chose better over Willis.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, this goes to the. I just wanted to add the context to the perception part that you was talking about. You
Mm-hmm.
keep going.
Yeah. But that's what we mean by perception. A lot of the media and the fans, they help drive whatever the perception is to that player. Because
Hmm.
everybody who knows the game of just like football, baseball, hockey, it doesn't matter. They know at some point in time, like a player is going to get it, and it's going to take time. Like that's why baseball has the minor leagues. And minor leagues, sometimes some players they stay down there for at least 5 years. I know Sonya understands this. She's a huge baseball fan. Her and Chill, look, that's what they do. They baseball
Right.
fans. So if we understand and we know this as fans, this is exactly why guys like Desmond Ritter don't get a chance. Because Jalen Hurts, let's keep it real. Jalen Hurts struggled for about 2, 3 years himself. But they gave him an opportunity to chill out.
But
How did they do that? Go ahead, Phil.
no, but no, no, I was gonna let you. I thought I was gonna let you finish. I was gonna add something else to it too.
But that's the thing. It's like player fans know that it takes time. But like you said, with the public perception and how we view and who we like, we as fans add to the a lot of times the organization. Sometimes the organization because they want to make money and they want to be popular within the media and
Hmm.
around the NFL, they end up pulling the trigger on something that may be a little bit premature. And that's how we got into this conversation.
Hmm. Now, now, what I wanted to also add to this is this is also one of those. This is also a big issue when you don't have the right type of. I ain't gonna say the right type of. Like I said, you got to figure out who's the leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the leaders on the field? Who's the leaders in the locker room too?
Ooh.
Because we about to land this plane into the conversation itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So bear with us here. So let's go let's go right into the situation in itself. Okay, so the question is, desperate to replace Matt Ryan. So they use Desmond Ritter to build to bring in the help the Falcons bring in certain guys, i.e. Jesse Bates and all them.
Mm-hmm.
So Michael Penix was the guy that they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And we find out that's the guy they wanted the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
which is which if y'all watched that draft show, we looked confused and bewildered like a motherfucker because he said, why in the hell would you pick up Kirk Cousins for that type of money like that if you knew this was the plan all along?
Mm-hmm.
So now essentially what you ended up doing, you actually got the same amount of production because if you tie in the numbers from where they went from Mariota, Beretta, to Heineke, to Kirk Cousins, you was really only a game off, but
Yeah.
$100 more in the hole.
$100 million in the hole for the same
You
production.
you got you got you're $100 million in the hole for the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that for a second.
That's how we got in this conversation, y'all. We got $100 million in the hole for the exact same production. Think about that.
Hmm.
All
I about to say, I want somebody to tell me if I'm lying or not.
yeah, please,
For the
please.
same shit and one more win.
Mm-hmm. We got one more win more than what we've had the last 3 years. One more win. We paid $100 million for one more win, y'all. Think about that. This really take a second to think about that.
You paid for $100 million more of the same shit that everybody thought we was getting away from.
Mm-hmm.
And one more win.
And the defense didn't get any better on top of it. The same
You
coaching
gave
staff yet again.
you gave you
Yeah, I know he had
he down
fun.
here
I
laughing his ass off.
know.
He laughing
Yeah.
his ass off.
We paid $100 million for one more win in the same play. Think about that.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean, John. Not
Hmm.
only did we pay $100 million for a player. I mean, to be honest, we paid what? You add another 32 million to that with Michael Penix, so we paid almost 140, 150 million.
140 million, about let me see, it said 30 something to that. Yeah, about $140 million.
$140 million for one more win, a new coaching staff, and two quarterbacks, and the damn partridge in a fucking pear tree. So that's the gift we gave, the fucking partridge in the pear tree.
Yeah. Southside said, I don't want to think about that.
Look, we gotta talk. We gotta talk
we
about
gotta
it.
we
We
gotta
gotta
talk
talk
about it.
about it, y'all.
We,
This is what we paid for.
hmm
We
Because
ran Matt Ryan out because we wanted to get to this situation.
right,
We ran him out of town. Okay, let's keep this clear. We ran him out of because we wanted a black quarterback. That was look. Let's keep it 100% real. If we would have if we would have done the situation right, drafted a young quarterback before Matt Ryan was gone, we wouldn't even be in this situation.
right.
We could have done it right. We could have sent Matt Ryan. We could have sent Julio Jones on his way. Had a guy like Kyle Pitts for a couple of years under Matt Ryan,
Right.
and had Matt Ryan tutor that young guy at least for a year and
Hmm.
retire properly. Well, we didn't do that. We ran both. We ran Matt Ryan out of town
Right.
because that's when we started making everything. That's why Arthur Blank, Mr. Blank started making everything black. They put look. They put barbershops and every goddamn thing all in the damn in the damn in the Hawks thing. They put barbershops and they put clubs, restaurants, and every damn thing in the Vans. They put everything in there. Everything black. Everything quote unquote
So
a part of the culture. We hired a GM black. We hired a head coach black. We had a defensive coordinator black. We did all of this for y'all instead of doing it the right way. We did all of this for y'all. And I'm talking about y'all. I'm talking about me too because I'm a part of the coach. They did it for
yeah,
us.
yeah, they did it for all of us.
And guess where it got us? Right here, right now, looking at this absolute putrid crap that's going on right now with Kirk Cousins. That's where we are right now. This what
Yeah,
we asked for.
yeah. Because like just say, let's just say, hold on. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Who we got coming in? We got Scotty Robinson. We got Jew in the building. Then we got a $2 super chat said Shiloh in the fourth round will add 4 more wins. Shiloh who? He
Shallow,
ain't talking
I
about Shiloh
know
Sanders.
he ain't talking about Shallow Sanders.
I think he's talking about Shiloh Sanders. That's
How the
bas-
hell he gonna look? He
that is
gonna
Rich. That is Richie Grant all over again. The same Richie Grant y'all wanted out
you
of town.
better say that again because that's exactly what it is.
Well, we appreciate the $2 super chat though, for real though. But
I know what DeAndre trying to do. It ain't working, pimp.
yeah. Try to bring one of them Sanders boys down here to Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah, slick.
That's all that shit is. No. But like you said, going back to what you talk about public perception. Yeah, the original goal. If I'd have thought about it, the original goal was to have a bridge guy that was affordable and draft Michael Penix. But here's the thing. Here's the problem. They want, like you said, we call for a bridge guy who's won a lot of games in this league or who put up numbers, not necessarily win games. We wanted a bridge guy that put numbers up.
Almost up.
And everybody knows, and everybody that plays fantasy football knows that Kirk Cousins is one of those number putting up type of guys in this league.
Yeah, fantasy king. He made so much money for
Shit, he
guys.
made me. Shit, Kirk Cousins made me so much money over the years just for him being my quarterback. So yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
So they went and took a chance, and just like D Coleman said, they took a chance and they swung and missed. So now with the Cleveland Browns fucking around and bringing back Joe Flacco in the same offseason that they traded for Kenny Pickett, and they possibly still may get a quarterback. There's really only one team. It's really only one trade partner that you could really get at this moment, and that's Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh, 9 times 10 is gonna draft a guy. Look, I think I heard that side
Mm-hmm.
from what I saw.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
DJ Freakily, I'm gonna take. Look, I'm gonna put my I'm
Actually,
about
you
to put.
do. Actually, I hope he
I'm about to
does
put
this.
my coon hat on real quick.
No,
You
look, no,
know when I
hold
put
on,
my
hold on.
coon hat on?
I'm gonna say this. Do you realize that most quarterbacks today have the same exact skills now?
Mm-hmm.
Majority of the quarterbacks, whether they black, white, Latino, all play the same now.
The exact same.
The biggest difference is, well, nigga, the black quarterbacks are like a half a second faster. But if you really look at the prospects of the game, like you said, most of the quarterbacks play the same.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask y'all. Let me ask you, Kev.
Hmm.
Do you know a guy by the name of Fran Tarkenton?
Oh, you talking about the original scrambling quarterback, the father
Mm-hmm.
of the scrambling quarterback.
Yeah, the father of the scrambling quarterback. It started in 60 something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the NFL. Yeah, the NFL. Hold on.
Mhm.
Hold on, let me say this. This statement right here, he doesn't realize that he's actually down in black quarterbacks. He don't realize that
Mhm.
he's doing it. He said, name a white Russian quarterback that's really good.
I-
Josh Allen, who
Well,
runs
what are we
the
talking about, bro?
exactly. Like you said, it may not
That's
it may
Cam
not be
Newton,
it
bro.
may not be as many of them.
He's literally
Steve
Cam Newton,
Steve
bro.
Steve,
What we
Steve
talking about?
Young literally was one of those guys. Brandon Marshall,
Archie Manning, right off the bat. The guy like Terry Bradshaw, he was
Archie
a mobile quarterback.
Staubach.
Roger Staubach. Like, what do we see?
Hell,
This is so bad.
most folks don't know that John Elway was actually a runner.
He was a mobile quarterback. What are
See,
we talking about?
but this is the problem is right here is he's literally stereotyped the black quarterback as being the only thing they're good for is running.
running. That's a bad. That's terrible for a back because most black quarterbacks don't want to be stereotyped and being.
My thing is, y'all don't like stereotyping black quarterbacks, but then you're using the stereotypes in your arguments. That's interesting.
Hmm.
And plus, if you look at today's NFL, like you said, because we want to say Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson, Mike Vick, Randall Cunningham, um, Donovan, well, not really Donovan. McNabb ran, but he didn't run. See what he's looking at. He's looking at quarterbacks that run for almost 1,000 yards every year.
Hmm.
You said just one. Everybody's literally naming every quarterback that's in
I
here that can
named
run.
about. We've named about four of them just that quickly.
He said, "I'm just saying that black quarterbacks are taking over."
No, that's not true. Black quarterbacks have always been.
Black,
This is
black quarterbacks have always been in the league, bro.
always.
They've always been in the league. They
Yeah,
always been in the league. See what he's looking at. See what he's saying is he's really just looking at Lamar Jackson, really than anything.
we know
We
that.
know where
We
this
definitely
comes
know
from.
that.
But
He
like you
could
said,
be talking about that half breed in Kansas City. We know he not talking because black people don't even want to claim him no more.
oh yeah, I forgot since he had that interview with Matt Ryan, yeah, they don't claim him no more.
No, absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
Yeah, look, Cam Newton had had that interview in the Super Bowl weekend with Matt Ryan and humanized him. Yeah, black folk don't fuck with Cam Newton like that no more because of
Nope. Nope. No, look, it's a crime shame how we really do.
yeah,
We're doing this to ourselves.
right.
On one hand, as people of, I would just say people of color, period. And this just doesn't pertain to black people. This pertains to Asian people, guys like Young Wei Koo. We talking about guys like Hispanic guys. Like if it's anything, the Hispanic person gets absolutely shitted on in football. But we don't hear black people saying, all right, where my Hispanic brothers at? Y'all don't give a shit. Y'all want praise, y'all want to be praised, and you want to be respected while disrespecting others.
Mm,
You can't
mm,
have it both ways. You can't say you want to be respected and then say stuff like black folks taking over. Don't
hmm
that sound kind of KKK-ish if you ask me?
Man, I mean, we already know the reality of how that shit plays out.
Mm-hmm. Like,
But
why right now, and I will say this is probably for me personally, and John could probably speak um better on this than I can, but it's just the observation from myself is that this is probably the first time that I've seen where it really doesn't matter if you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian,
mhm,
like black, white people, Asian, Hispanic people, just people of all culture, they don't really sit down and talk about, oh, I'm white power and black power and all this type of we're getting along in sports. We're getting along in a lot of
mhm,
a lot of a lot of stuff. It's being accepted. Interracial couples back in the 60s and like 60s and 70s, that shit was frowned upon. Now we saying this shit like it's the end, it's the she thing to do.
mhm. Yeah. See, the one thing that I have the biggest issue when it comes to that type of conversation is when we look when I look at a lot of the black quarterbacks in this league, and I look at a lot of the fan bases that cherish a lot of these black quarterbacks. It seemed like we only cherish their athleticism more so than their ability
Mm-hmm.
to play the game itself.
Yes.
And that
Mm-hmm.
and that is the stereotype that for some reason y'all say y'all don't like people having on those quarterbacks, but those are the very stereotypes is the reason why you like them.
Yep. I'm not gonna tell you what what therapists would say about that. You want to say what therapists actually say about that?
I don't think they ready for that. I gotta let them see.
Yeah, therapists. That's look. They look. Therapists is not. They tell you the truth about that.
Hmm. Oh, you talking about actually? I thought you were talking about Juan. I was about to say I don't know you
No,
want to
no,
go
no,
there.
no. See, no. We're not gonna put Warren in that situation because we know what he.
Yeah,
We know what he's gonna say. I'm talking about actual therapists, but Warren pretty much say the same thing about it too.
right. Like you said, like
You want
you
to
said, you
claim something.
like you said, you can't cry about a stereotype and then use that very stereotype
Mm-hmm.
as the reason why you like that person.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be honest with you. If Lamar, like I'm gonna just use it as example, if Lamar Jackson wasn't running the ball like he was, y'all wouldn't have gave a fuck about him. We've seen this happen before. We see this
Yeah.
happen a lot.
I've seen during games people hitting. I've heard conversations during game when people when Lamar Jackson ain't running, they ask, "What the hell going on? Why he ain't running?"
Right.
I've heard them say that.
My thing is, if you want to talk about black quarterbacks, talk about the total package and just not one aspect. Because that's how you really support black quarterbacks. Like I said, my favorite quarterback all time was Steve McNair.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be the first, like I said, and not ashamed to say it.
Look,
We see,
everybody
we
know
see,
the guy right now is my guy's always been Peyton Manning, but the guy that I love to see right now is Patrick Mahomes. I think he's as
uh,
close to perfection as you can
yeah,
get.
yeah. He's talking about Lamar's just Tyrod Taylor with creative control. And then do you see what he followed up with is why is the NFL racist? Why all the owners are white?
We know why you look. You
We,
can't
we,
look. See, let me say this, Kev, because we
that's
gonna let me
hilarious.
go down this road. See, on one hand, you say just picture me rolling them a 500 bins, okay? Picture me rolling. All right.
Okay,
So
go ahead, go ahead, go
on
ahead.
one on one hand, he says he's saying I'm black, I can't be racist. Okay, I'm reading his comments. Then
Right.
he goes to say why the NFL owners are white. Okay, and he say NFL is racist. Then he goes to say Lamar is the truth. We know.
Sounds like a victim to me. Sounds like a victim
Mhm.
mindset to me.
That's a victim mindset because Lamar Jackson is regarded as the best NFL, the best quarterback in the NFL. That's not named Patrick Mahomes.
And Patrick
So
Mahomes, oh yeah, and for him, in his case too, he's the same type of guy that tell you that Patrick Mahomes don't count because his mama white.
his mama white. You got two quarterbacks right here regarded the best two quarterbacks in the NFL, but we up here having a conversation talking about the NFL is racist. We just had another Super Bowl where two black quarterbacks was participants, and we talking about the NFL is racist.
like I said, like I said, in his mindset, Patrick Mahomes don't count.
Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes don't count. Not one time did you
And
say
that's how,
anything about that.
and that's the thing. That's how most of them think.
Mm-hmm.
That's how most of them think, which is surprising to me because I bring up a name like Bob Marley. Y'all love Bob Marley, but his
Mm-hmm.
daddy white.
Daddy White. Yep.
Interesting.
If y'all knew what my family looked like, y'all wouldn't say I was black. I got a high. Look. I got look. I'm a mixed breed. I can tell you that much. And that K Styles and his lady mixed breed. Okay, Maggie T, they mixed breed. I'm telling you. So we sitting up here trying to put guys down because we're quote unquote black. We're quote unquote black. We're better than everyone because we're black. This is how it all started to begin with.
So basically what you saying is some in our community is starting to revert to the very thing that they hate the most.
They hate the most. This
Mm,
is why, well, if you've ever been to therapy, one of the things that they always talk about is that a lot of people, you ever heard this term, hurt people?
yeah.
It's another, it's some other terms that I could throw out there, but this ain't the STS.
Uh,
But the thing is this is exactly the mentality we talk about. Hurt people. Y'all, we want to cry and say the NFL racist, but we got quarterbacks. We got like 5, 6 quarterbacks, 3 or 4 quarterbacks that's making
the,
$200 million,
the
and
top
all of them black
70% of the top paid quarterbacks in this league are black. What are we
are
talking
black.
about?
What we look? What are we saying? This is the mentality what we're talking about that caused the Atlanta Falcons to get in this type of mess. It's because we're listening to people like this. We're listening to this. Instead of doing the right thing and developing our team the proper way, doing it the right way, the football way, we're up here talking about white and black issues. We're talking about
Exactly.
culture issues.
Because you know why? Because the black and white issue is a conversation reverter. It
Hmm.
reverts the conversation.
Yes.
It's a conversation reverter because the thing about it is this whole conversation just we literally about to lead this conversation as to why the Falcons was in this conversation. And once again, we got distracted,
Hmm.
which is what these conversations really do. Is it
Yeah.
distracts you from the truth?
Hmm. But this is again, this is exactly why how we got to this situation to begin with. Because if you look at the Atlanta Falcons, one of the things that we wanted, even when Matt Ryan was the quarterback, we wanted another Michael Vick. We wanted to recreate that feeling. This is why a lot of the Atlanta Falcons were pushing to get a guy like Deshaun Watson in. We were pushing to get Lamar.
Hmm.
Even when our quarterback was throwing for 300 yards every game, y'all still push every week, every month when we weren't winning. Y'all were pushing to get rid of a Hall of Famer.
Hmm.
And then when we got somebody in here that could quote unquote run, and Marcus Mariota, he ran really well. Put up about 700 yards rushing. That wasn't good enough. Then you realize that wasn't good enough and said, I think we need a real quarterback. And then we drafted Desmond Ritter, brought in Taylor Heineke, and they didn't do too well. It's like, oh shit, maybe running ain't the way we need to go.
Hmm.
And then
Hmm.
we went out and got desperate. And K Style, you can take on for here. We went out and got desperate.
We got desperate as hell because what it is, and like you said, Michael Penix was the right move at that point in time. But at the same time, this where like you said, by them getting Kirk Cousins the way that they did, that's where the desperation comes into. That's the desperation that Mike is talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So so instead of having a $2 million bridge guy, 5-10 million bridge guy, we cry for wins now. Now we fuck around. We got a $40 million backup.
Because we cry for wins now. Every time something doesn't go our way, we cry for whatever, and we make we pitch a hissy fit about,
Hmm.
and it changes. It changes every year, every couple of months. It's not even
Right,
every year. Every couple of months, every couple of weeks, it changes.
right, right.
And that right there is exactly how we got. Y'all wanted a quarterback. You see how we went? We forgot all about the quarterback rushing for a lot of yards. We
Hmm.
forgot all about that. We wanted that as fan base. We
Hmm.
forgot all about that. Why? Because we wasn't getting passing yards anymore. And then we went from the running. I don't think we need to get more running quarterback because all we said with Marcus Mariota, damn, he can run, but he can't throw worth a crap. And we said the
Right.
hell with the running. Let's get a quarterback that come in, he can throw. Hence why we went out, looked at a guy like Kirk Cousins who was available, knowing dang on well that he was injured and coming off of a torn Achilles. We didn't care.
Hmm.
We wanted to certify that. We wanted to certify we were some crackheads. We wanted to certify that earth.
Hmm. That was like you said. That was a like you said. If it paid off the way that we wanted to, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, the thing about and it's one thing, and like I said, I'll say this thing with Kirk Cousins. It's one thing that like you said, if it's just one of those years where okay, he did everything he did, he played well, but the team overall just didn't do it. Like you
Mm-hmm.
said, this actually would be a pretty good payoff.
Yeah.
Problem is, we started off well, and he mentally fell off a cliff,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the problem.
But the moral of this story isn't the clown Kirk Cousins. It's to bring the light and look at the situation that we as an organization, as fans, we did this. Because whether
Hmm.
we want to admit it or not, or whether the Falcons want to admit it, every fan base has a certain amount of power to kind of coerce the organization to do certain things. And we did that. We coerced the Atlanta Falcons to go out and get a real quarterback, get a black quarterback, get a black general manager. We did all of that.
Hmm. Cause remember,
We coerced them to doing that. We did that.
cause remember when it came down. Remember when it came down to coaching hires and GM hires. That's all we was looking for.
Hmm. Black, 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 black. We want everybody black. We wanted Eric B. Enemy at some point. He can't even get a college football job, but we wanted him to be our head coach.
But the thing about it is, it's not even just that. It's just black, black, black. But it's about being who is that and popular.
That right
That
there,
that that
that's the
that's the
conversation.
biggest key. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. It's about if you're popular.
Mm-hmm.
We look for we as Falcon fans, and this goes back even back to when Mike Vick was here. We value the popularity more so than the football team.
Absolutely.
We
That's the
weren't,
moral
like
of
I
the
said,
story.
we didn't see at that in that era. We didn't have Atlanta Falcons fans. We had Mike Vick fans who just so happened to show up at Atlanta Falcon games.
Mm-hmm. That's your turn right there, Kel.
Yeah, there you go. Symbolism over production. That's exactly what it was all about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I ain't even gonna tell you no lie. Some of these very Falcon fans last year turned on Michael Penix.
Yes, they
Y'all,
did.
y'all didn't y'all didn't
Yeah.
y'all didn't see that part. Y'all didn't see those, did you? I want everybody in the chat. Did anybody see the point in time in last year where you saw fans online that actually turned on Michael Penix?
Mm.
I want to see
Mm.
if I can get some yeses or nos.
I know Richard gonna know because he,
Oh yeah,
he
we already know Rashad knows.
he gonna know everything. Shout out to our information guy
No,
behind the scenes.
no. Georgia Tech boy, nope. It's not when he threw not when he threw that
Nope.
interception.
Nope.
Y'all want to know why some of the fans turned on him last season?
Mm.
Do I need to tell him, Mike?
Yeah, I believe so.
They turned on him because he wasn't running the ball enough.
Why he wasn't running enough? He could run. Why he's standing in the pocket? Yeah,
Oh, that was all online. That was all online.
he need to run the ball more.
I'm like, wait a goddamn minute now, Rondell. That's not his game. If you actually watched his motherfucking ass, you know that's not his game.
Going back to college, he was look, after he got hurt at Indiana and he went to Washington. That wasn't his part of his game. He completely changed his game. Now he believe me, he can run that thing. I think we saw that last year. When he need to get in the end zone, believe me, he can move.
Right. Yeah. And we just flipped this whole conversation like a
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yep.
So so I'm gonna say this, and then we get some questions afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Kirk Cousins is going to be the backup, maybe the backup quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons for the next 2 years. Maybe.
Woo boy. Kurt. Mm-mm-mm-mm.
And we damn sure did do it to our we damn sure did do it to ourselves.
We did this. We did this. We asked for this. We asked for this for the Atlanta Falcons. You helped put the Atlanta Falcons in a situation where they had to go overboard in order to replace a Matt Ryan. That's all this comes. This is what this comes from. This is where it derived from. We can sit up here and try to deny it all we want to, but this is why we. What look? Why would any sane person go out and get not only a quarterback you paying $100 million to, but you gonna draft a quarterback in the first round on top of it? Who in the hell would do that? It's like these motherfuckers that be going. You see when a snowstorm come, you get these motherfuckers that be got four truckloads of water. Like motherfucker, everybody needs some. You ain't gonna drink all that shit. That's what the Falcons did. They got about 4 truckloads of damn quarterbacks, knowing damn well we not gonna use it all.
Lord. Somebody help this nigga. Talk about what is his 40 time. Going
Actually,
right going right back to what we
he's
fucking
going
talking
right
about.
back. He don't even know. He don't even see the problem here. People like this don't even know that they are being ignorant because they really believe the stuff that they believe because of what they've been taught, what they've been bred. You've been bred that mentality. But let me tell y'all a little story about Man Mike. Just a short little story. If anybody knew, if they knew me, Matt Mike wanted to be a Black Panther. I really did. I got a few family members there right now that's doing they're in organizations. And one of the things that if you ever go back and listen to the great Afeni Shakur, I don't gotta go too deep in with her. One thing that she always said, and the reason what got the quote unquote the black culture in trouble is because we did it to ourselves. The black people destroyed themselves. Black people destroyed themselves. Why? Because they got greedy. They thought they were better. They thought they were superior. This is
And
coming from somebody that's a Panther. She said this. And she said she would never do it again. She would be there, but one of the things that this is why her son was born in jail. It's because of the things that we did this to ourselves. The mentality that we have, we think be better than everybody, and we think we're better than black people. We think we're better than white people, and then we want to play victim on top of it.
to be honest with you, we think we better than the people in our own damn community.
Hmm. We think we better than the people in our own community. We doing it to ourselves, talking about the white man did the Jew did this, and the Chinese or the Asian guy they did this to me. We did this because we've been taught a lot of look. Like I said, we didn't mean to turn this into an STS, but this is exactly what it is at this point.
Yeah.
Just saying. When you think black people are all superior, and then you run into until you run it, and when you run into a Josh Allen who can do everything a black man do, are we really that much superior? I'm just saying because I seen Peyton Manning. We say black people are the most intelligent people in the world, but then we see a guy like Peyton Manning who comes and turn the whole NFL up with just his intelligence and no goddamn athleticism at all. It is all brains.
Well, I mean, you can't help but be all brains. Do you see his motherfucking head, nigga? God damn.
That motherfucker got number all brains. But we up here talking about black people, black power. Man, come on, bro.
And the thing, and you're saying that the NFL is racist, but 75% of its players is black. Now, if they
Black.
was truly racist like that, it'll be an all-white league.
Mm-hmm. It
And
was
remember,
like that for a
and it
minute
was
though.
and
It
it
was
was
like
like that for a good little while.
mm-hmm. Research, man. Y'all wouldn't know this if you just research. The AFL before had a lot of black players. The NFL before the merger, it was a lot of white, a lot of white players.
Hmm.
But the AFL when they merged together, that's when we started seeing a lot of black players, the OJ Simpsons, all these guys coming in.
Anybody remember the Alabama Crimson Tide versus USC Trojan game?
USC chosen. Yep.
Did anybody remember that documentary?
Mm.
Well, the
Yes,
only reason
sir.
why the University of Alabama went and got black players because they got their ass whooped by USC. Yeah,
Beat their ass.
beat the brakes off their ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
we
want to
see.
see if anybody remember that. See if anybody remember
Yeah,
that.
I want. Yeah, I really want to know if people remember that.
It's an all white. See, it's an all white owner league. So you need to tell the brothers. Hold on, I got a question for DJ Freeman. So for all the brothers that got money, you need to tell them to put their motherfucking money together and get it and get some of this ownership, get into some of this ownership.
Stop by and stop trying to buy record labels and rap, okay? And buy
See,
tennis shoes.
see. Let's look at Atlanta for example. Before the Atlanta Falcons became $1 billion franchise, this is one of the meccas of entertainment in the South. So you can't tell me that most of the black celebrities, entertainers, actors can't put their money together to get some shares of these teams.
Mm. The Mike Vicks of the world, the T.I., the Jesus, the Gucci Mans, the
The,
Outcasts.
the ones that claim Atlanta.
The one that claim Atlanta. You can't tell me that they can't put $400 million in the escrow,
Hmm. Hmm.
and then buy the Atlanta Falcons, or at least buy a major stake in the team. Come
Yeah,
on, bro. Come
because
on.
the thing is, well, they won't let them.
Wait,
See,
Jay Z is literally the center of Jay Z is literally running. What is Jay Z and Dr. Dre are literally running the halftime shows? What are you? What in
they
the
run the
flame fuck are
entertainment
you talking
aspect
about?
of it. He said they won't let a no black folk don't want to own the team, bro.
A black woman? Do you know that minor? Look, K Style. Who is
Hmm.
one of our minor
Dominique Dawes.
minority owners?
Dominique Dawes.
So she's black, right? Dominic Dawes is black, right?
Like you said, the thing is, see, he's doing exactly what I keep talking about.
Yeah. Yep. They're doing exactly what you're talking about.
This is the one of the major problems that we have just right now. If the NFL is so racist, why are you watching it in the first place?
Yeah, because you supposed to been gone with Kaepernick, right?
Second of all, if the NFL is so racist, and like you
Magic
said,
Johnson
okay,
is
it's all
another
white
one.
mama.
Yeah.
Like, if I feel like something is super racist like that, do you think I would be continuously watching that?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yo, bosses is white. Do you don't want to work for them because they white?
Nah, look, he
Y'all
gonna say,
look,
I
look,
get
look,
that
look, look,
shit.
look. Y'all, we shop at Walmart. The owners is
Yep.
white, but why
Coach,
are we
coach,
shopping at Walmart?
coach, right there. That coming with coach. Hey, people just be talking, man. They look,
like,
y'all got to stop being uneducated. Y'all be hearing stuff that the goofball be putting on social media, and you run with it.
that boy, that,
Look,
that boy, that boy, that boy came with the Umar Johnson playbook. Boy,
he
that
sure
shit don't
did.
work over here.
Right, you
That
can't
shit
work
don't,
that shit on
that
us.
shit don't work over here, bro.
That shit don't work on us. You get that goofy ass shit. Look, we like to charge the whites over there. We some intelligent dumb motherfuckers.
Hmm. The thing about it is, if the NFL is racist, if you feel like the NFL is that racist, why do you even put energy into watching it? If you want some black ownership, I tell you what you do. You need you, and this is my homework for you. You need to go out here and beg the Ti, like you said, the Ti's, the Gucci's, a lot of these black billionaires that's in the state of Georgia, because
Mm-hmm.
Georgia is one of the top 10 cities with black billionaires.
Billionaires. Yep.
You need to talk to them and see if you want see if they can go ahead and buy this team.
Mm,
We got black billionaires everywhere. We got millionaires everywhere.
mm.
We not finna look. If we constantly keep talking about everything is the white man's fault instead of us looking at us as a community and hold ourselves accountable for the shit we put ourselves in, we ain't never changing.
Yeah, man.
We've been pushing this same playbook for 50 years, and we still complain. We still talking about the same thing.
The same thing. That right there, coach, right there. That last one with with the white. Put the king, put that one up, kid.
Yeah, you said the majority of the commanders owners is black. Exactly.
What we talking about, bro?
You gotta get black folks to want to buy the shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's why most of them start off as minority owners,
Yeah.
because it's just to get your foot in the door.
Get your foot in the door. That's a
Once you
process
get
to become an owner. You can't just come in and just, hey, I want to buy everything. You don't know how to run
nope,
or rules
yeah,
to the things because you might
exactly.
end up getting a lot of people in trouble because you're not. Because the thing is with being owners, you still have to. You're under a certain guideline where you have to follow federal laws. And a lot of owners, they don't know the laws, especially in those particular cities and states. Because they got different states, your ass will end up in prison, dog. Quick, don't start that shit.
Don't start that. Like I
I
said, at the
mean,
end, like I said, at the end of the day, regardless on whoever's owners or whatnot, which way, the problem is you got enough black billionaires in this country right now and all over the world that can pitch in and be owners in this league. Like you said,
uh-huh.
in order for you to be an owner, you have to start off with small minority stakes. Then you
Hmm.
have to gradually move up. That's how Arthur Blank became the owner of the Falcons. He
That's
was a
how he
minority
became.
owner.
He was a minority owner first before it. Like you get people got it's sad to see how ignorant you really are.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna say it, bro. And I don't mean this in a demeaning way because
Yeah.
I want you to actually do your research before you say, but this is very ignorant of you.
Hmm.
That's how these guys became majority owners. Arthur Blank just didn't just come in and say, "Hey, I got $800 million."
Nah.
He had to learn for 10, 15 years on
Hmm.
how the process of being the owner works before he became the majority owner.
Right.
That's how it works.
It's a process. Let me say it again for the people in the back. It's a process. But the thing about it is you have to be willing to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. If you had a minority stake in the Atlanta Falcons right now, let's just say you had 1%. What is 1% out of $6 billion?
Woo, woo, boy. Woo, boy.
See, that's the problem right there. You have to start somewhere and you have to build.
Mm-hmm.
You start and then you build. You're not entitled to say, "Oh, I'm right here. I want to be the owner of this team." Why? Because Atlanta's black. I want to be the owner of this team. You got to start somewhere. And the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, you have to hold the community accountable for itself, because if you don't, think about it. We are faces of some of the most asinine shit that goes on in America.
Mm. Mm.
So until you Freaknik hold accountability for us, for the whole community as one to get better as one, aka bring back family structures, holding everybody accountable, not
Mm-hmm.
trying to isolate scholars out the community because they not cool.
Yep.
Until you're able to hold other black folks accountable to that, you ain't gonna be nothing more than a symbolic victim.
You can't get
So,
black people to invest. I believe me.
because the thing
They
about it,
want to see it first.
because black folk, we don't really invest like that because we look at the percentages and say, "Oh man, I ain't making no money off of that." But the thing is, it has to build. It has to build. It
Mm-hmm.
starts somewhere. So, and like I said, war done is a mile. Like
Here's
I said,
another
and
one.
you did all that black power talk. You got 5 black minority owners for the Falcons right now, and one of them is in the ring of damn honor.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck is we talking about? What you
Just
say?
pure.
What you say? You want Young Thug to be the owner of the damn Falcons? Let me ask everybody a question. I think he's saying that he wants Young Thug to be the owner of the Falcons.
You gotta
Is that what we're gonna
be
do? Raise your hands if you want.
somebody who
Um,
really represents the community or represents the culture. That's what he's really talking about
that's
because
what
it
he's
ain't a
really
black
talking
thing.
about. Who? Look at that. Look.
That right there, Vlad. Yep. Yes, sir.
That shit is wild. That shit is wild.
That's exactly how they do it.
That shit is wild. Hmm. Bill says it's gonna be a strip club at the bed.
Look, they keep asking for it. Look, it's gonna happen. That's
Look.
saying.
Oh man. So we're gonna go ahead and do the Q&A part of this damn shit now.
Mm-hmm.
This man done turned this man done threw us all the way the fuck off and then turned this shit into Black Panther 101. He said King gonna say he wants Tyler Perry to own it so
That
he can
look.
so he can have Medea price.
Yeah. Yeah.
They already had that motherfucker dressed up as Medea.
Yep. At a damn game. Was it football? Was it basketball game?
No. It was at a Falcon game.
You know what it was? Yeah. Yep. Oh damn! I forgot about that. No, that was a Falcon game. Yep. Just saying, Kill. This is how a lot of our issues, a lot of the issues when you talk about this Falcon fan base is things that we've done to ourselves with our expectations, unrealistic expectations, and sheer ignorance. Because if you actually knew how Pittsburgh, Dallas, all the great teams actually won, that actually looked like crap before they actually won.
Look, Southside said this is the first time I seen both Mike and Sisman lose the topic completely.
I mean, we did. We actually didn't lose the topic. It was actually a part of. We just turned it into STS.
Yeah, this
We
this
just
this
turned
went
the
more.
version
This
into STS
this just become STS.
version of it. See, I was gonna cuss y'all ass the fuck out. That's what I really was gonna do. But I was like, nah, because it goes back to what we were saying about our expectations as a fan. We created this with Kirk Cousins because of what we wanted. Our every year, I don't know who it was. It might have been 330, but he said that the fans are fickle. Every 2 weeks, every look. You ever notice? I notice a pattern in Falcons fans. Every time somebody else won't, every time somebody else win a certain way, we want to build our team that way the next year. We want to be the Kansas City Chiefs and use Kyle Pitts like Travis Kelsey. Then we saw with the Philadelphia Eagles said, man, we got Bijan and Tyler. Why we can't run the ball like that? And then y'all fell in love with Caleb McGarry again after y'all wanted to throw him in the trash after week 1. Like every 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks, every time y'all see somebody else win a certain way, y'all want to build a team that way. Or y'all want to draft. Oh, they drafted a quarterback in the 3rd round. We should do the same thing too. Oh, they drafted a bunch of Georgia players. I think we should do that too.
Exactly.
Falcons fans are fickle at the end of the day. And the Falcons organization they have to just focus on building the team the right way, and at the end of the day, say the hell with the Falcons fan base because they don't know what the hell they want. The media sure don't know what they want. They just want clicks.
That is true.
Believe me, if y'all knew how much money they make off them damn articles, Jesus Christ, y'all would stop supporting them. If y'all knew how much they actually pay people to write articles. See, the problem is like what the biggest problem is, and I'm gonna say this because I am a part of this. The reason why a lot of these a lot of these organizations, the Sports Illustrated and whatnot, is because they pay every 1,000 views, and I'm gonna just leave it right there. I'm not gonna give the how much, but they pay every 1,000 views. So when you have a quota that you have to meet, what typically happens is you try to do anything and say anything to get them 1,000 views. You don't care how you get them 1,000 views, you just got to get it. And this is the problem that is wrong with Atlanta media is because they don't care how they get them 1,000 views. They would do anything and say anything to get those 1,000 views. And people like us, oh boy, we get in their way and say you shouldn't listen to that bullshit. Oh, we become public enemy number one because we quote unquote put out the game. And look, I look. I may you may see somebody say some bullshit about me in a few days because I said this, but it's the truth. We changed the pay scale in this Falcons niche. You'll see a whole lot of truth being explained. You'll see our team being covered the right way if we change the pay scale. So I'm gonna just leave it right there, K Style, because they about to get a whole nother conversation out of me.
Oh Lord. Yeah, I don't think. Look.
Yeah, they ain't not look. That trust me, y'all not y'all not ready for that one.
Yeah. They not ready for this shit. They look.
Yeah, and Tony Wright just continue to put more and more names in there. See what I'm saying? That's why I love Tony Boy. He come with the facts. He does his research and not just out here just saying crazy stuff because it sounds good. You got a
They ne-
comment right there, Jill.
what you got? Let's see. Let's see which one we got right here.
The one,
He talking about now. Can we get a current event sports talk? Oh, now. It got too real for him now.
oh, that's cute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's cute.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to talk about sports. Yeah. That's funny.
That made me miss a kickflip because of that shit.
Oh, that's funny. Do y'all think Natron Brooks can be? Nah, hell nah. That man ain't making the damn team. We got
He
about
gonna be
15 goddamn
he
cornerbacks.
gonna be he'll probably be on the practice squad most likely.
If we make it, it'll be the practice squad. We got way too many corners, and we haven't even drafted yet.
That man did all that goddamn Umar talk. Then all of a sudden like, oh no, let's get a current event going on.
Interesting.
Sitting over here getting my Rodney Mullen on. Ouch. Sitting over here getting my Rodney Mullen on and I get hit with that. Like really? But let's see. It says Glass says, who are y'all top targets for the Falcons, by the way? We can list a couple of them, Mike.
um. Well, my number one target for the Falcons. Um. A lot of people are saying I'm Duke Carter, but I'm not. I think if you look at this Falcons team, I think the perfect guy is Jalen Walker. He fits this team perfectly. Um, from what I've heard, like he's one of those vocal leaders, and I'm tired of these punk ass Falcons players that won't speak their mind. I'm really tired of that shit. Like, look, I don't need no goddamn. I need some Martin Luther Kings. I need some damn, some Malcolm X's on the team. I'm tired of all these motherfuckers looking at walls when shit go wrong. Like, I need somebody goddamn to say something about it. Like, none of these Falcon defensive players won't say shit. They be real nice citizens. Okay. So Jalen Walker, from what I understand and what I'm hearing about him, he's the vocal leader of that Georgia Bulldogs team. So I want Jalen Walker because when Caden Ellis, um, I don't know if I can go and extend him. I can't see them extending him. So you draft another guy to come in and be able to do to play close to the line of scrimmage as well as be a a solid edge guy. I think he fits perfectly. The second guy that I got for the Atlanta
Mm,
Falcons, clearly for me personally,
mm,
is
right.
Malachi Starks. That's it. But those are the two. I'm just gonna leave it right there. Just Malachi and Jalen Walker, and it has nothing to do with the fact that these guys are Georgia Bulldogs. I just feel like what Raheem and what he needs, how he runs his offense, that defense based on what the fuck I saw last year, all this motherfucker gonna do is use his damn linebackers and his edge guys in coverage. So why not go coverage?
Mm, yeah. Well, as far as the first round pick, and I will say this too. Um, like I said, this week, I'm putting shorts out on my channel, where I'm kind of giving like quick descriptions on some late round gems that could possibly be on the Falcon radar. So y'all stay tuned to that. I've already done two, and Zeke Biggers and Xavier Restrepo. But as far as the first round, um, ooh, that's tough because, like I said, Malachi Stark's really the main guy. Well, I got three guys. It's two guys I'm looking at, and they both safety. I'm looking at Nicky Mawari and Malachi Starks. That and edge rusher style, I'll probably go Mike Green.
I mean, I didn't say that I
No,
wasn't
no, 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 no.
for
I know,
Mike
I know, I
Green.
know.
No, I'm
Yeah, I know,
talking
I
about
know.
a guy. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I
talking about
know.
a guy in the comment section. They saying why not Mike Green? I never said
Yeah,
that. Those are my favorites.
yeah, yeah. He said those are his favorites. But like I said, my main favorite. Like I said, my main favorite is Malachi Starks. That's the
Yeah,
main one for me.
just on the like I said, for me, Malachi just the style that we play anyway. I think
Right.
he'll fit perfectly.
Because here's the thing, here, and I'm gonna give people reason why I say that. Like you said, you have a big hole to fill if Justin Simmons don't come back.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I know, we love Hitman Helms, we love Demarco Helms and stuff like that. But he's better close to the box.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse Bates makes a lot of his plays as a rover as well. You need a deep center guy who got range.
Yeah, I do like Mike Green. He gives me that tingling feeling.
Hmm. Gives you that tender feeling.
Tender love.
Uh, yeah, but but yeah, I think that's the thing they needed. They need a younger, deep third safety. And
Mm-hmm.
I think personally Malachi would be that pick for them at
Yep.
15 if he falls that far.
Right.
That's the key word I gotta say. If he falls that far down. Now, if he doesn't, now if he gets picked up after that, oh, it's wide open from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, coach. Yeah, I'm not saying full of that, but like I said, I don't know if the long term plan is going to be who's going to be there. That right there is the thing. It's long term.
Right.
But I like Kenneth Grant also. Like for me, like he's another one of those guys. I actually put him before Mike Green because I think the Falcons just need size. I'm look. I need somebody with some big bellies. Okay, we need somebody with a big belly, some big feet, long ass arm that can wrap around goddamn 15 offensive linemen if he needed to. Like we haven't had that size that we. I mean, to be honest, that's one of the aspects. If you look at what Calais Campbell, Rasheed Hageman, like when we had good defensive line and put up some decent numbers, we had a guy that was there to be in it that was able to eat up space. We need space eaters.
That's why I told you. That's why I'm big on Zeke Biggers.
Yeah, I
Not
seen
not
him.
not 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 just because he went to Tech,
Nah.
but because, like you said, he has that Calais Campbell type of skill set where he just has this unnatural ability to just knock passes down if he can't get to the quarterback.
Uh, uh-huh.
6'3", 330. Yeah, that's definitely a big boy. And
Uh-huh.
he lost weight. Let me say that again.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, just as long as it ain't Desmond, what was it, Desmond Watson from Florida. As long as it ain't him. Fuck no.
All right.
Let's see. Mike said Mills asked you about Shador Sanders. He said, "What's your take on Shador Sanders?"
I think he has the potential to be the best quarterback in this draft. Why? Because you look at the NFL and where it's headed. It's predicated on getting the ball out of hand quick, getting the ball out of the quarterback's hand quickly. As we saw in Colorado, he couldn't. Look, that man was under pressure down there at 1.5 Mississippi. The hell with 2 Mississippi. He was under pressure and he was getting the ball out, and he was doing it at a decent rate. So when he does have time to make those throws, Shador can make that. Two, he's had excellent toolage. A guy like Tom Brady, it doesn't get any better than that when you learn from one of the GOATs. He has great toolage, and obviously his father is Deion Sanders, so he has the pedigree, he has the confidence, he has. We know that he wants to play, and if he get out of line, we know Prime ain't gonna play that shit. Prime gonna put him in his place. So I think he has the attitude, he has all the tools, and like I said, the NFL, whether I like it or not, it's just all predicated on this RPO. Get the ball out of the quarterback hand, move him around in the pocket. He can move, and that's the thing. But Shador, he can move. He can make some plays with his feet. Um, but like I like that he's very underrated when it comes down to his ability to read defenses and read coverages. He's very underrated in that. And I think you look at that big, fat, stupid Cam Ward, because he's a big, fat idiot. That's all he is. He's a big, fat dummy who can run fast and throw hard. He's nothing but a Justin Fields in this. That's all he is. I don't like nothing about Cam Ward. I think he's a big, fat, lazy slob, just like goddamn Justin Fields. They just rely on their athleticism, and I think Shador blow both of those guys out. But the thing with those guys that Shador doesn't have is obviously their overall skill sets. Those guys can throw farther, those guys can run faster. But Shador Sanders is what you want in a quarterback: intelligence, and he knows how to. He got composure and he got confidence.
Cause I think he asked because talking about him patting the ball before he throws. I think a lot of quarterbacks kind of
Yeah,
do that.
who don't look? Who don't do it? Y'all, look, that's why y'all got to stay off these fucking. Stay off the internet, okay? Stop listening to people. When the hell have you? Tom Brady pat the ball 30 goddamn times in the middle of a play. Have you seen him? That's all he does. Matt Ryan does it. I don't know why. Please stop. I'm look. Stop listening to these dumb DBs and these players that they swear they know what they do. Look, this nigga who said that shit, he sucks. You gonna listen to somebody who sucks? If you don't think if it was such a problem, you don't think the best defensive back in NFL history would have corrected him? So it obviously ain't a damn problem. You don't think Dion would have corrected that? Let's stop listening to these idiot ass people. Okay, that shit is fucking stupid. A quarterback patting the ball. What the fuck you gonna do? Carry that motherfucker around like he goddamn Michael Vick? Because Michael Vick didn't pat shit. All he did was carry the motherfucker down like a fucking bread, a loaf of goddamn bread. Listen to these dumbass damn players. They motherfuckers barely getting 2 goddamn tackles a game up here talking about, oh, you do that and then we're gonna pick it off. You ain't gonna pick shit off, but pick a goddamn book out your damn nose, you sorry bastard. Brady would have fixed it. Dion would have fixed it. If it was a problem, they would have fixed it. It's not a problem. Stop listening to these idiots, man. I trust Dion. I trust Tom Brady. I don't trust these other stupid bastards. I don't. Sorry, but no sorry.
Remember, this is Mel. Remember, we are in Mel Kiper season now. You gotta remember that now.
We in that season.
We are Mel Kiper season right now, so you know bullshit is coming.
It's like they'll say anything. They say anything. Let's keep this real. The only reason why they don't like should do it because the motherfucker too confident in himself. Period. They don't like. They don't like. They don't like. They don't like guys like him to be too. They don't like players to be too confident anyway. Period. Because those guys are hard to negotiate with. You can't negotiate them because they know their worth. He know his worth, and he's not going to allow them to put him down. All right, we gotta go. I'm tired of that crackhead. That boy sniff boogers for. I heard he do. He eat boogers and sniff them.
Oh God, I think I think he just do it for the damn attention.
Nah, he sniff. He eat boogers. He eat boogers
He
for.
boogers,
Yeah, he eat boogers.
he
You know
boogers,
them.
and
Look, he
booger
that
wolf.
5 year kid that was looking. He was sitting at the desk in 5th grade in kindergarten.
Hmm.
That eating boogers. That's him.
Oh wow. All right, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get up on out of here, y'all. Let
Damn,
you
we
get
gave
your.
y'all down there 2 hours. Sheesh.
I told you these shows is getting longer now. They getting longer now. Man, this is the off season anyway, so y'all gonna get some more. Y'all like I said, it's all good. But
Floyd, you are ridiculous. Really?
the hell,
He said he ate pace. Wow.
he eats paste. Golly. All right, man. We ain't
Ah.
here. We ain't here to play.
No, 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 no.
We here to stay.
No, I can't even do
What
it.
you talking about?
uh, oh man.
Man, we out here, y'all, man. Y'all
We
have a
are.
good evening.
Uh,
I told y'all. Bad Mike told you time and time again.
that motherfucker.